Hello, everybody. I am Content Marketing Manager Sarah Sworniak with Moog, and with me is our Global Marketing Manager for Sim and Test, Naud. And also we have JP, our Global Engineering Manager. Welcome, gentlemen. And we will be at the ITSEC event from November 27th through December 1st in Orlando, Florida. Naud, can you tell us a little bit about the event?
Sure. Please let me start to explain what the Iitsec means. Iitsec stands for the Inter-Service Industry Training, Simulation and Education Conference, and it's the world's largest modeling, simulation and training event. The Iitsec is held annually and brings together professionals from the military, industry and academia to showcase the latest technologies and innovations in training, simulation and education around that topic. The conference itself focuses on a wide range of topics related to training, including virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, and more serious training games and other technologies used for military and civilian training purposes. It also provides for us a platform for networking, knowledge sharing, and of course meeting our customers and the simulation community around the world. And well, it's one of our major milestones in terms of trade shows where we've been attending the Iitsec for many years, and it's always great fun to meet everybody from the community.
So with our involvement, can you tell me a little bit about what inspired your team to pursue the development of a VR simulator with a motion-based platform, and what potential applications or industries do you envision this technology? GP, can you maybe tell us a little bit about that?
We knew already that the VR and the MR, the mixed reality and the virtual reality, would find its way in the simulation. And so we did work already on this technology for quite some time now. And I have to say the first HMDs, the head-mounted displays, were really a breakthrough, but they still had some features that were lacking, let's say, well, that had to be overcome. And just recently, the last couple of years, you could really see that latency, the fidelity, and even the mixed reality features are really getting a lift off. And now it's really suitable for training devices. And so while exploring this technology, we did find out early in the process that our customers that want to use this technology of a VR with motion cues, they really had to overcome a very important aspect. And this demonstrator that we just made is really proving that it can be overcome and that it also really adds value in this combination. Yes, and we call it the demonstrator since this solution is really the basis for our customers, so they can really finalize it into a simulator by adding their specific needs, such as a vehicle model, the human interfaces specifically for an aircraft type, or their training purposes.
Can you explain the key advantages of using motion-based platform in VR simulators, and how does it enhance the overall user experience compared to traditional flight training devices?
According to us, motion is really complementary and vital for the total user experience. It adds really a lot of value in the training. In our test and experience, the combination of VR with motion, it really showed that motion is vital. Having no motion with VR, we saw even that in the test, there was a percentage really showing that VR without motion was adding to discomfort and motion sickness. Yeah, and compared to traditional training devices, for us, it's obviously that the amount of space and hardware required is really less, obviously.
What technical challenges have you encountered in integrating motion-based technology with virtual reality, and how have you addressed these challenges during development?
Yeah, so the key is really to have the right capabilities and the knowledge to integrate all this several complex technologies together. But also what helps is a good partner like Vario. They were providing also key knowledge and support to us. A challenge is really like choosing an effective approach to solve the user story that we have here at hand. That was another challenge. And I think the team well succeeded in that. And obviously the proof of the pudding is in eating. So yes, we tested the demonstrator quite a lot.
In terms of user engagement and immersion, how does the addition of motion enhance the effectiveness of the VR simulator and in conveying its intended training experience?
Yeah, so for many training scenarios, adding motion to a pilot training is really vital. And we think that creating an environment of total immersion cannot be fulfilled without motion. So we subjected our complete setup, our demonstrator, to pilots. And then we did even a test. We isolated the pilot from motion while he wanted to hover. And he really excused himself for saying, well, I am actually a pilot. I can fly a helicopter. But basically what he was missing was the motion cue, the feedback. And that we could tell obviously from the images that we saw.
What considerations have you made regarding the safety and comfort of users when incorporating motion into a VR simulator? And how do you mitigate potential motion discomfort?
Yeah, so in relation to safety, right, our motion base is human rated. It has many safety features, a lot of sensors, electrical brakes, and also according to the performance level that are required by directive and regulations. For instance, we have also end of stroke buffers on the motion activators. And obviously we test a lot. We have an extensive test program. Also for the user, there's an emergency button within reach for the pilot to reach without the need for searching it. It will return safely to the home position when pressed. Yeah, and obviously we have a seatbelt and operator is monitoring to complete the whole safety loop.
How do you see the market demand for VR simulators with motion-based platforms evolving in the coming years? And what industries or sectors do you anticipate will benefit the most from this technology?
Yeah, we think this technology will find its way into simulation and training of pilots and other users. We think that what we know now is that the head-mounted display, the HMD, used with motion will need to be done correctly. And we are happy that we can contribute right now in this industry with the right knowledge and the technology to serve the market that is really evolving now. And the options and the possibilities are basically endless. Flying, driving, rescue scenarios, to name a few. We're just starting, I guess.
What future developments or improvements do you envision for this technology, and how do you plan to stay in the forefront of innovation in the field of VR simulator development with motion based platforms?
Yeah, we will definitely continue to invest, to explore the options, to push the technology and increase the user experience. The combination with control loading, the force feedback, but also the vibration inputs for helicopter pilots, as well as reducing technical features like mandatory features like latency to the minimum, to name a few examples.
Great. Could you elaborate on all of the capabilities of the showcase, including its design, functionality, and any unique features it may possess that sets us apart from others?
This demonstrator includes a very versatile platform that includes all the electronics and control loading actuation systems. So it provides basically also many options for the customer to build upon, to finalize it in their own way that they want. Also, the platform itself could be even used as a fixed base simulator because it has everything already included and can be transported as such. Also, the components are really robust. I would say you can really notice that when you see it immediately. It's really designed for simulation, so for intensive use without a lot of maintenance. Needless to say, also the required safety levels for the whole setup are guaranteed. Like mentioned before, the end of stroke buffers in the motion activator, but also a really proper anchoring system to secure the system to the floor for all the motion inputs that will come along.
So what was the motivation behind creating this demo? What specific experience were you aiming to provide or enhance for its development?
We knew from research in the past, where we were experimenting years ago already with VR, that customers would need to solve a very important aspect, and that was avoiding the false visual cues due to the combination of motion with a head-mounted display. The head-mounted display has a lot of sensors to know where it is in space, but it just doesn't know if the pilot is moving its head or if the motion base is moving. And without intervening and compensate for these motion cues in the image generation process, the user would just not get the right image. And Moog succeeded that this is possible and also absolutely needed and required.
Noud and JP, I thank you for joining me. I thank you for telling us a little bit about the ITSEC event and also the great offerings that we have with everything that everyone can come out and check out. Thank you for your time.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.